Hello. On behalf of Friends of Residents of Long-Term Care, I want to welcome you to our 2022 Virtual Fall Gala and Fundraiser. My name is Steve Hahn, and I am this year's board chair. Friends of Residents is known as FOR, and for those of you who aren't familiar with the work that we do, well, here is what FOR stands for. Our vision is to empower residents and families to improve the quality of long-term care in North Carolina by providing a statewide network of education, advocacy, and support. We know that strengthening partnerships throughout the aging service community requires working together with residents, families, providers, advocates, and others to achieve our vision. FOR is responsible for strong laws and regulations that protect the safety and rights of consumers. FOR informs the public about long-term issues and concerns and gives voice to long-term care residents and their families so they can impact the legislation and rules around long-term care. We believe that by building a sustainable network of engaged volunteers, advocates, consumers, and friends like you, we'll be able to improve the quality of life and quality of care in North Carolina. Our motto, quality care no matter where. We have a great gala for you tonight with entertainment, awards, testimonials, and more. So thanks so much for joining us and enjoy the show.
When the sun beats down and burns the tar up on the roof, and your shoes get so hot you wish your tired feet were fireproof. I wanna go and I see, yeah, on a blanket with my baby's favorite under the boardwalk, out of the sun, under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun under the boardwalk. People walking above under the boardwalk, but we'll be falling in love under the boardwalk, boardwalk. From the Park Hill, the happy sound of the carousel, you can almost taste the hot dogs and french fries they sell under the boardwalk, and my city, yeah, on a blanket with my baby's favorite meal. The boardwalk, out of the sun, under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun under the boardwalk. People walking above under the boardwalk, we'll be falling in love under the boardwalk, boardwalk. Under the boardwalk, out of the sun, under the boardwalk, we'll be having some fun under the boardwalk. People walking above under the boardwalk, we'll be falling in love under the boardwalk, boardwalk.
Good evening. I'm Lauren Zingraff, the Executive Director of Friends of Residents and Long-Term Care. That was a great opening number from Backfence. We have outstanding entertainment tonight, all donated from talented North Carolinians to help support Friends of Residents and Long-Term Care.
And I'm Bill Lamb. I'm chair of our Public Policy Committee and a board member of Friends of Residents and Long-Term Care. You'll also hear from some of our friends across the state, like Charles Keller, a dedicated volunteer with FOR's Communication Committee, and Victor Arija, the state long-term care ombudsman for North Carolina, Division of Aging and Adult Services.
Hello, I am Charles Keller, and over the last 20 years, I have watched my grandmother, an aunt, an uncle, and my father die in a nursing home here in North Carolina. Now, my 85-year-old mother is also a resident in a nursing home here in North Carolina. All of my family members who have been in nursing homes have experienced some type of abuse and neglect at the hands of staff, administration, and sometimes even other residents. Because of this, I support Friends of Residents in Long-Term Care because they work diligently to educate North Carolinians about the nursing home and long-term care industry here in North Carolina. I also support Friends of Residents because they support and advocate for residents and their family members and those residents who may otherwise not have a voice of their own. And I also support this organization because of their efforts to bring about much-needed public policy change by working with state lawmakers to make much-needed changes to laws, policies, and regulations affecting our most vulnerable population. I am thankful for Friends of Residents in Long-Term Care for the important work that they do to help ensure that our loved ones have a better quality of care and therefore a better quality of life.
Greetings. This is Victor Orija, State Long-Term Care Ombudsman. On behalf of long-term care residents, their families, advocates, and ombudsmen, I want to express a profound gratitude to members of the board of Friends of Residents, FOR, Bill Lamb, Lawrence Zingraf, and Ben Popkin. We appreciate all you have done and continue to do for residents. And if you listen to this remark, you must be a supporter of FOR and an advocate for residents. We thank you as well. The list of accomplishments for Friends of Residents include the continued effort to ensure the highest quality of care for residents, increase in supplemental assistance for assisted living residents, effort to increase ombudsman staffing, effort to increase personal needs allowance, personal deal allowance for residents in nursing homes. This will be revisited in 2023. Collaboration with the department, providers, and advocates during the pandemic to improve visitation, etc. Involvement in the ongoing adult care home accreditation effort. Passage of H.R. 351, Clifford's Law, and Senate Bill 191, No Patient Let Alone Act. If I may remind you, both legislations ensure that in the event of any future emergency or pandemic, any resident in long-term care will have two designated representatives who will visit them and ensure that there will be no isolation as experienced in the past. While I have focused on achievements, I must also mention the 2022 Fall Gala. Traditionally, it's a time for advocates and supporters of FOR to come together for the celebration of residents' rights and also recognize individuals who have excelled or contributed to the improvement of quality of care in long-term care. So the 2022 Fall Gala is an opportunity for each and every one of us to show appreciation for what FOR is doing and will continue to do for long-term care residents. I urge you that you donate generously. Yes, there are challenges in long-term care industry, substandard care, staffing shortage, etc. However, residents need our support. FOR needs our support. Together, all of us must continue to uphold residents' rights and residents' safety. October is Residents' Rights Month. In my opinion, each day should be a Residents' Rights Day. Together, our support is crucial in continuing the effort to improve the quality of care in long-term care facilities. Thank you all, and take it to Friends of Residents.
This gala would not be successful without the support of our friends from across the state. You make our work possible. You can make a donation anytime during the event on the donate link by going to our website at your convenience. We also appreciate our event sponsors, and you'll hear from some of them now.
My name is John Camp. I'm a videographer, producer, storyteller. I'm an old news guy, now telling new, old stories. Let that sink in a minute. My company, Ever Living Memories, documents family and personal stories worth holding on to. Generational memories, as we say. Our motivation, my motivation, was this woman, Jeanette Taylor. She was my grandmother and was an incredible person in every way. And then she disappeared behind the mask of dementia. We held on for 5 years before her body let go.
No, my life has been very good, really, because I was allowed to be me.
Years earlier, I had the foresight to take a small video camera to her independent living home on Whidbey Island, just off the coast of Seattle, Washington, and sit down with her to really get to know her story.
That's my dad for sure. No, he has good eyes.
And it's important to me today to hear her tell it.
It's been busy and frantic in a lot of ways. Frantic because of the war.
Stories that would otherwise be lost.
That is so good.
I cannot overstate its value to my family. And that's what my company does for other families. It's right there in the name. We create ever living memories. Tonight, I am delighted to be helping 4 Friends of Residents create this new memory. We produced this digital gala, and I would love to hear any feedback you've got. But quickly, I want to say thank you. Lauren Zingraf, Bill Lamb, 4 board members and donors, advocates of long-term residents everywhere. Thank you. Thank you for being voices of those so often forgotten. For 5 years, my grandmother could not speak for herself. Now, she had family close by, great long-term care, but everyone should be so fortunate. Your work, both in the trenches and in the legislature, has made life better for people like my grandmother throughout this state. I know this. So thank you. And congratulations, friends, on another great year.
Hi, I'm Mike Olander with AARP North Carolina. AARP is a proud sponsor of this year's annual gala and so appreciative of the work and expertise of Friends of Residents in Long-Term Care. Without FOR, so many of our state's long-term care residents would have little, if any, voice when it comes to the quality of care they receive. Throughout the past couple of years, FOR has been instrumental in protecting the health and dignity of patients through the pandemic and has helped provide family members a little more peace of mind when it comes to the care their loved ones need. As our state's aging population grows and demands for long-term care continue to rise, there are big challenges that lie ahead. For example, we need to make sure that our facilities are well-staffed with qualified workers and safe to visit through COVID or whatever healthcare crisis lies on the horizon. AARP support is just a small way we can say thank you for the advocacy, information, and coordination FOR provides. I look forward to this year's gala and want to salute the staff, officers, and members of Friends of Residents for pursuing its motto day in and day out, quality care no matter where.
As we go along. For those who participated in our pre-event raffle, the drawing will be on Facebook on Monday, October 24th at 2 p.m. It doesn't mean, though, that you can't support Friends tonight with a donation. We have a donate button on Facebook, or you can go to our website and donate there. We are a charitable organization, and your generous contributions will support our work with residents and their families.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah. I am making this video to express my gratitude and thanks to Lauren Zingraf, the Executive Director of Friends of Residents. I'm just so grateful to have a group like them because I live in a nursing home, and I have extensive history in different nursing homes all around North Carolina. And it is so good to have a group to be able to advocate on your behalf and to help you with whatever issue it is, big or small, because I know their heart and their compassion is in it, and they're not doing it simply for a job. It is something that they have personal investment in, something that they do because it is what is something that they've been called to for a greater purpose than simply themselves. And whether they have personal investment, whether they have family members in nursing homes, or whether they know somebody, or whether it's just something they're passionate about, they do it because it is the right thing to do, but also because we need help, because we can't do it for ourselves. And often being in nursing homes, we become very limited in our access to resources and to the help that we need, having either, whether we're compromised in health or physical ability or both. It is just so good to know that we have groups out there. And Friends of Residence has personally helped me with so many things to be able to help me get the best care that I need. When often we have nursing homes that don't want to provide. They want to do the very bare minimum that they're responsible for. So I just want to thank Friends of Residence, thank Lauren and all the people that work with her for the amazing job that they do.
Jeremiah is an extraordinary younger member of Dignity for the Aged and a committed long-term care advocate as a nursing home resident. If you want to consider being part of the team as Jeremiah is on the board of directors or volunteer, reach out. We'd love to hear from you. You can chat with us right now on Facebook or reach out after the event.
And please don't forget to make a contribution to support Friends. No donation is too small. We sure hope you're enjoying this year's gala. Now enjoy this great piece of comedy donated for tonight's event.
Okay, we have a real treat coming up for you right now. Jeeks!
Thank you very much. I have 4 degrees beyond high school, and I am still confused. Even though I completed a 476-page dissertation on grief and loss issues, I don't begin to understand all that goes on with this aging process. Personally, I find it weird that I'm now the same age as old people. How's it working for you? But I don't know about you, ladies, but I'm growing hair where I don't want it and losing it where it's sort of nice to have. While my mustache is coming in nicely, my eyebrows have virtually disappeared. I was talking with my sister-in-law last year, and she had the same problem, and she decided to get her eyebrows tattooed on. Oh my God! If you decide to do that, do not do it in the spring of the year. Turns out her tattoo artist had severe allergies, had a sneezing fit while she was working on her, and my sister-in-law is in a permanent state of And there are other medical consequences to aging. Since I'm a nurse with 4 degrees beyond high school, friends and neighbors sometimes call me and ask for advice. Wasn't long ago a friend called me virtually hysterical. Said she had severe pain under her left breast, was convinced she was having a cardiac event. Hell, it ended up she needed her left knee replaced. Now, speaking of joint replacements, I would imagine if we compiled all the metal joints in this community, we could probably build a skyscraper, or at least a 2 to 3 story building. And speaking of that, a friend of mine confided in me a week or so ago that when his wife, who'd had 2 hip replacements, a knee replacement, a shoulder replacement, that when she died, he was going to forego funeral expenses. He was simply going to take her to the junkyard and cash in her metal parts. challenges associated with aging, Poppy and I try and focus on the positive. Bless our hearts, we have discovered that even at our age, we can have a healthy sex life. That is, if you can stand the sight of somebody your age naked. And although between the two of us, we have arthritis, poor night vision, impaired hearing, and our medications cause dizziness and confusion, we are eternally grateful that we can still drive. Now, is it just me, or have you all noticed you have to turn the car radio down in order to better see where you're going?
And now for more serious business. The announcement of Friends of Residents 2022 award winners, recognizing people or organizations having a significant impact on the lives of our long-term care residents and their families. We're giving out 3 awards this year. First, our Legislator of the Year award is being given to Representative Donnie Lambeth for his dedication to increasing access to health care and reforming our state's Medicaid program.
Well, thank you very much, and I really appreciate this award. You know, when it comes from people within the industry, it means a whole lot more because those people understand some of the challenges we have, and they recognize the work that we've done here at the General Assembly, and particularly the work that I've tried to focus on. Long-term care is very important to me because I have tried to look at the continuum of care from home care to hospital care, different aspects of medical care, and the long-term care industry is an integral part of what we're trying to do in North Carolina. Number one, to improve the quality of care for all North Carolinians, and number two, to improve access to care for all North Carolinians, and number three, to manage the cost in a better way than we have in North Carolina in the past. So thank you for this award. I'm very appreciative. I will continue to advocate for your industry. We have a lot of work still ahead of us. We go back into session in January. Just know that my door is always open to you and the folks that represent you. Feel free to call, contact if there's issues that you want to talk about. So thank you again very much.
Secondly, we want to recognize members of the media for calling attention to emerging long-term care issues and services. This year, no one did this better than Ames Alexander, an investigative reporter with the Charlotte Observer. He was able to have a series published about the staffing challenges facing nursing homes and the impact on quality of care.
What an honor this is. Thank you so much. Bill and Lauren, I'm indebted to you for helping to educate me about the problems caused by staff shortages inside nursing homes. Your conversations with me helped me see that this was an issue that was affecting thousands of nursing home residents and one that needed to be fully investigated. Friends of Residents is doing such a terrific job illuminating these problems, and I'm so thankful to them. My heart goes out to the residents and to the many family members who've watched their loved ones suffer in short-staffed nursing homes. Marilyn Lester, Tim Wall, Jeremiah Manson, and Monica Miller were among the people who told me heartbreaking stories and important stories because they helped readers see the true cost of these staffing shortages. I'm really grateful to them. What I found in my reporting is that stories like theirs were all too common. Few states are encountering staffing shortages as severe as North Carolina's. And as a result of those shortages, some residents miss crucial medications, they develop life-threatening infections, and they can wait hours for help. Our investigation also found that nursing home residents in North Carolina lost key protections during the pandemic. Families couldn't get into nursing homes to visit their loved ones. Nursing home inspections were curtailed, And as a result of the COVID-19 immunity law, nursing homes were shielded from lawsuits related to the pandemic. Thanks again for all your important work on behalf of nursing home residents. I really appreciate it.
Finally, we want to recognize a long-term care advocate of the year with FOR's Sharon Wilder Advocacy Award. This year, our award is being given to Pat Weaver from Clemens, North Carolina. Pat began her advocacy work as a caregiver for her husband, who was eventually a resident in a state nursing home in Black Mountain. She became involved with Caregivers for Compromise during the pandemic lockdown and joined Friends Public Policy Committee. Since her husband's death, she remains committed to improving the quality of care and of the lives of residents. She remains an active and effective member of our committee, and we're proud to give her our Sharon Wilder Advocacy Award for 2022.
Well, thank you very much. I am honored and humbled to receive this award. It's also unexpected, and unexpected in a lot of ways, but principally because I have always been a listener. I have not been a voice. My husband was the voice in our couple. But after he became ill and was admitted to long-term care with aphasia, I, out of necessity, became his voice in long-term care. And we were not in one of those lovely facilities that runs ads in the paper, and couples are going out to play croquet and going to the symphony. We were in an area where people were dependent for just about all their needs to be met. And so there were other opportunities to be a voice for other residents as well. That worked pretty well until March 10th, 2020, when the lockdown of facilities came because of COVID. And so then I was on the outside with no ability to speak for him or help him. And as time went on and the lockdown went on, I began to look for who helps with this, who can help us to get back into facilities, who can help us to meet the needs of these residents that are in facilities, my husband in particular, and the others in his unit. And as I asked this question, for Friends of Residents in Long-Term Care, Bill Lamb, Lauren Zingraf, were all suggested to me. And so after several people said, this is who can help, I contacted them. And you know, what happened was my small voice and others in Caregivers for Compromise who had little small voices, FOR was able to take those small voices and turn it into a megaphone. And so we got heard. Our voices together became a voice. Ben Popkin, our lobbyist, did a wonderful job of getting our voices heard in Raleigh. So we were able to make some progress with getting visitation in long-term care facilities. And that was a wonderful experience, but we're not finished. There are so many more issues in long-term care that need to be addressed, some of which I think you've already know about, others that just keep coming up. And so I hope to be able to continue to be a voice, to join my voice with others, and let FOR be the megaphone that puts those out in front of people. So thank you again, but I thank FOR for making the little small voice that I had become something that could be heard. Thank you very much.
We all want to give a huge thanks to everyone involved in this work. There are so many people and groups worthy of recognizing. Congratulations to each of this year's award winners.
And now we have a few treats for you before we wrap up tonight's affair. We also want to hear from Ben Popkin, our lobbyist and policy consultant. He is our eyes and ears at the North Carolina General Assembly. We had legislative successes this year. Some increases in pay were given to direct care workers. The personal needs allowance was increased for assisted living residents, and visitation rights of residents and their families was recognized in state statutes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ben Popkin. I'm honored to serve as the lobbyist for Friends of Residents in Long-Term Care. I'm here to share with you our priority legislative items for the coming session. We'll begin January 2023. We remain focused on three specific items. First is direct care workers. We would like to have the legislature provide support and assistance to the people who are on the ground, hands-on with the residents and providing the care that makes a difference to them each and every day. We would also ask, as we look at supporting the direct care workers in our long-term care facilities, that we make sure there is transparency and accountability in the flow of funds so that the money that's to be provided to the direct care workers, in fact, we can know that it goes to their hands and pockets and helps the ones who are providing those services to our loved ones. Secondly, we would like to remain focused on personal needs allowance. This is an issue we've had success with in assisted living facilities, but not yet in nursing homes. The amount of personal needs allowance remains as it was in 1986, $30 a month. We would like to push to increase that to $70, adjusting for inflation and otherwise, so that our nursing home residents have the ability to buy toiletries and personal items that really just to maintain their quality of life. That amount hasn't changed in decades, and it is time to do so. Finally, we are focused on giving attention and support to our state's long-term care ombudsman. These are the individuals who are the eyes and ears and hands of the department and are on location on the ground to go ahead and help resolve issues and concerns and complaints before they escalate, become more difficult and perhaps dangerous to the residents. The federal ratio, the standard that is sought in long-term care ombudsman, is 1 ombudsman per 2,000 long-term care beds. On this ratio in North Carolina, that would put us at approximately 11 ombudsmen short. So we will continue to clarify the important role that ombudsmen do for our state's legislators, and we will push to try to support increasing the funding and the number of positions so that they may have more people on the ground protecting our state's long-term care residents. So those are the three priority items we will be focusing on, and we would ask for each and every one of your support. And please reach out to me. I'll be glad to help. And if anyone would like to participate or know more about these issues, I'll be happy to respond. Direct care workforce support, personal needs allowance and nursing home increase, and support and increase the number of long-term care ombudsmen. Welcome to 2023 legislative agenda for Friends of Residents in Long-Term Care. Thank you very much.
Please don't forget to contribute to help us build on these successes in 2023. And now enjoy another musical performance from Backfence.
Keep on turning.
Does your doctor see the whole you? You want a cure so you can keep the music playing. You want the latest innovations because you're the next big thing. At Novant Health, we see you, the whole remarkable you. That's why we give you care based on your unique needs, so you can keep living the life you love. Novant Health. Expect remarkable.
Lauren, what a great gala. Thanks to all of you who watched and participated. We couldn't do this without you. Our public policy agenda for 2023 will reflect our mission for quality care no matter where. Join us in shaping that agenda. Become an active member and volunteer. Join our public policy network. Consider joining our board. Support the voice of residents and families. Let elected officials know about long-term care solutions. You can make a difference. And now for some final words from Lauren Zingraf, FOR's Executive Director.
Bill, it was my pleasure to host our 3rd annual Virtual Fall Gala with you. And with that said, I want to thank everyone again for joining us for our 2022 Virtual Fall Gala and Fundraiser. This was another fantastic success. Friends of Residents is for quality care no matter where. We will continue to serve as the independent consumer voice for long-term care residents and their families. We are nonpartisan. We are for what is right and just for residents and long-term care. Please stay connected to us through our website, forltc.org, or our Facebook page. Good luck to all of you who purchased raffle tickets. The drawing will be this Monday at 2 p.m. on Facebook. You do not have to be present to win. Wishing you all a safe and healthy fall. Good night.
Good night.